Does Mrs. Macron have a penis?
100%. Take it to the bank.
Her penis?
No, don't take her penis to the bank. That'd be weird.
It might be in her thigh.
It might be in her thigh.
Oh yeah, fire.
No.
Fire.
I actually didn't watch those
Why?
videos.
Why 100%?
100%. You have to watch the series. There's a reason why Joe Rogan said he watched 2 episodes and he was like 100% she has a penis. First and foremost, just the circumstances leading up to it. The president of France does not send a legal letter to a journalist in Tennessee who is pregnant with her 4th child, trying to get a series stopped before it even begins. Okay, so he sent me a 100-page letter. The president of France and his wife.
Did you get offered money? Really?
Illegal. I got threatened first about, like, you know, if you do this, we're going to do this, blah, blah.
I get why somebody would threaten you if you were talking about my wife's penis.
It hadn't even come out. I hadn't done anything.
But he knew.
He knew, okay, but come on. If
You wouldn't let her talk about mom's penis?
you
Why?
Because you know, how many times have I said
How
to you,
many clicks would we get on this show then?
your mother's penis is between me and her.
All right, whatever.
Not Candace.
But this is the point. You make a joke of it because you know it's ridiculous. That's anybody who doesn't. If there's no fact here, if somebody was going to run a whole series and say Candace Owens, I wouldn't care. It's nuts. It's not real, right?
But why? So okay, were you offered like $4 million or something? I read, or were you offered some money?
I was not offered money.
Just threatened to.
I was threatened, and then something even bigger happened, which I can't speak on right now, but I'll tell you off record. But it's very real. It's
Rhymes
very
with
real.
what?
He called in some big guns, is what I will say. And
Are
trying
you're nervous?
to get no,
but they got to be
I'm
big
not
guns.
nervous.
They're keeping you quiet.
No, they're not keeping me quiet. I finished my series. I mean, you know how I am. I'm like, no. It was only supposed to be 1 episode, and then when I got this 100-page letter, I was like, now we're doing a whole series.
How big is her penis?
That I don't know.
Oh.
I have to be honest. I have not seen a picture or a photo of it, and I don't. But I gotta say, for some of the stuff that they're doing right now, it's got to be pretty big. She's got some pretty big balls. I'll tell you that.
Well, she has balls too.
Yeah. 100%. She's got some big balls.
Here's
Sunny
One laugh we got.
One laugh.
But the whole point is, like,
Sunny
you
loves
watch the
balls.
series, you're gonna just know she's a man. I mean, there's nothing. It's like I didn't come across this as a fun conspiracy. I just was literally going through the news on the Daily Mail, like reading light news, and I thought it was very strange that I had a headline that said Emmanuel Macron responds to reporter says his wife is not a man, and it was a video of him like very incensed about this, and I was like, what the hell's going on in France right now? The president has to lower himself to something so strange. And so I then read the article, and it was like, yeah, obviously she's not a man because here's a photo of her when she's 4. And I'm like, that's it? That's all you got? What do you mean?
What else would you show?
Yeah. I mean, your whole life, I'm a woman. It wouldn't be difficult. I'd be like, here's me in high school. Here's me on the cheerleading team. And I'm like, okay, there must obviously be more here. And it was very weird that they just kept this, like, it was 2 photos from, like, the time she was a tot. And I'm going, this can't be it.
So
and that is it, by the way. That is it. That's all they've got. And there's a reason for that. It's because she previously lived as a man named Jean-Michel Trogneau. If you'd like photos of Jean-Michel Trogneau, then I can get you tons of photos before she transitioned into a man. And so it was insane that one of the big lies was like this was like a far-right conspiracy. It was the exact opposite. It was leftist writers that fell down the hole. A Vanity Fair reporter and a woman that does Holocaust documentaries for the government channel, like their equivalent of PBS. They were trying to do puff pieces on her, like a woman in power, Michelle Obama type puff pieces on her. And they fell on a rabbit hole because she didn't exist. Okay. And then the one who does the documentaries, that woman, I wish I'm blanking on her name right now. She, as she's working on documentary and asked them for photos, got called in by the Secret Service and interrogated. And she's going, what's going on? And then journalists that were working on the piece got detained. And people are going, what's going on? No one thought she was a man. They were just going, we can't find anything on her. Like, she's just like missing. And that's where it all begins. It's like people who are leftists and just love everything women do are like, yay, they're hardcore feminists. And they were like, we're falling down a hole here. Who is this person? Doesn't exist.
So you've been threatened?
I've been threatened. Yeah, I've been threatened legally. And like I said, Emmanuel made some pretty big moves, which I'm going to keep private for now. I will tell you off record, though. And
that doesn't scare you? I know we talked about the public fodder, but those kind of things, I know you're talking about like RFK now and blackmail. Those kind of bigger things don't scare you to speak on those issues or go against the grain? Or
yeah, I mean, I'm very faithful. I think God's in control of everything, but I also think that if we don't foster the conversations, now these conversations are going mainstream and it becomes a game of whack-a-mole. You can't just kill everyone, you know? And so the more that people have the courage to have these discussions, the more I think we're going to get to truth faster. What scares me is the other end of that. I think that if we are cowards about these topics that really matter, because at the heart of the Macron thing, no one would care about him marrying a tranny. There's an entire pedophile nebula that's around him. And we go through that. People who have worked for him that just keep getting arrested for child pedophilia, it's insane. There's way too many people. It's like, how many of your homies can be pedophiles before it gets weird? And we go through every Élysée Palace scandal regarding pedophilia that's happened since he's been in office. Something's not right there. Macron was 14 years old. Brigitte was 40. Okay? Just falling in love as a 40-year-old woman with a 14-year-old. Have you ever seen a 14-year-old boy? I mean, it's like, right off the bat, something's not right. Even if she was a woman, there'd be something weird here. And so if we are going to be too scared to have these conversations, I believe our children will inherit our cowardice. You can't allow people like that to be in positions of power. That's very scary. Emmanuel Macron is locking up journalists right now. That's very scary. And he's not locking them up because they're lying. Like, lies you want because so you can mock them. Like, if someone said they were working on a series about how I never lived as a woman, I want them to publish it because then I could take them out. They would never have a platform because then I'd be like, here's my yearbook from 98, 97, 98, 99, and I talked to all my classmates. There's nothing. They locked down the yearbooks. You're not allowed to get them. Journalists won in court for them to release the yearbooks. They wouldn't release them. It's a crazy story of what's happening in France. France has always been a little freaky. A little weird. France has always been a bit...
But also as a compassionate human being, if what you say and others think is true, and Mrs. Macron identifies as Mrs. and she wants to be a woman, I mean, she's not in a swim race. Why do we have to out her?
Well, first off, the implications of lying about that are significant when you're in office, obviously. You get to inform policy. And she has put people on, like, she has been in control of his entire cabinet, and she has put people in power that are problematic, as I said to you, as you start to unpack the entire nebula, people that keep getting into trouble. I mean, down to, like, the paintings that they put in their office. They had to remove a rug because the person who, like, she brought in to redesign the office, oopsies, hangs out with little kids and teddy bears, and it turned out that people came forward and said they were molested by him. It was just it just wow. Can't keep happening with every single person that you surround yourself with. So that makes the story bigger because she has real influence. Also, it would even something that you want to know, because when someone gets up and says, I'm a conservative Catholic and I'm running for president with my conservative Catholic wife, as he did, right? And then you find out, wait, your wife's transgendered. Wouldn't that conflict with your values? Are you actually a conservative Catholic? What do you actually believe in? So actually that, I guess you could say that standard of privacy is removed when you run from office. Actually, you have to be honest and say, I married someone who's transgender. I believe in transgendered rights. I believe that the statutory rape age should be removed, whatever it is. And if people want to vote for that in France, have at it. That's totally fine. We're not telling you can't support a person who's transgendered and running for office. The people who are transgender can run for office. They do. We have people in Congress that are transgendered. They didn't lie about their identity. They said, I'm transgender and I'm running. And in whatever county, people said that's fine and they voted. I'm not doing a series on that. It's not my business,